It's pretty wild that in this age of space travel, the idea of a flat Earth is making such a huge comeback. Online, it's a massive topic that sparks so much debate. So today, we're going to dig into the core questions that are really driving this very modern movement.
But at its heart, this isn't just about the shape of the Earth. It's really about something much more human. That need to ask why, to challenge what we're taught, and to try and figure things out for ourselves. It taps directly into our natural curiosity.
Our guide for this exploration is the book Flat Earth Uncovered: 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth. It's designed to walk us through the most common and really the most thought-provoking questions that come up in this conversation.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with why this idea is so popular right now. Then we'll look at the proposed flat model. After that, we'll cover the observations used as evidence, the claims of a global conspiracy, and finally, how this all comes back to the simple act of questioning.
All right, so why is this conversation happening right now? A huge part of it is the internet. It has created a space where alternative ideas can find an audience, and where entire communities can form around questions that challenge mainstream authorities. And this is a key insight from the book. The interest in a flat Earth isn't just about geography. It's presented as a symptom of a much larger cultural shift, a growing distrust of institutions like mainstream science, media, and government.
Okay, so what does the world actually look like in this model? As you can probably guess, it's very different from the globe we're all used to seeing in classrooms.
A really fascinating and central concept here is the firmament. Drawing on interpretations of ancient texts, this is described as a solid dome over the Earth. The idea isn't that it's empty space above us, but a physical barrier that contains the sun, the moon, and the stars. This model is built on three main ideas. First, the Earth doesn't move. It's a fixed, stationary plane. Second, Antarctica isn't a continent at the bottom of a globe, but a giant ice wall that circles the known world. And third, the sun and moon aren't massive, distant objects, but are small and close, moving just above us. This, of course, brings up the question of day and night. Well, in this model, the sun works like a spotlight. It's imagined as being much smaller and closer, circling above the flat plane of the Earth. The area directly under its beam is in daylight, and as it moves on, that area is plunged into night.
Okay, so that's the model, but what is the evidence presented to support it? This book places a huge emphasis on what you can see with your own eyes, direct, personal observation, without needing to trust an expert.
A key piece of observational evidence highlighted in the book is this. Whether you're on a mountain or in a plane, the horizon always appears flat and seems to rise to your eye level. The argument made is that this shouldn't happen on a giant curved ball.
So you have two perspectives on this. This book focuses on the direct observation. The horizon looks flat. It also notes the mainstream scientific counterargument that the Earth is simply too big for us to see the curve, or that atmospheric effects like refraction can distort what we see. This book details other arguments from everyday observation as well. For example, it points out that water always finds a level surface, which raises questions about oceans curving around a globe. It also brings up instances of people seeing lighthouses or cities from distances that should be impossible due to curvature. And of course, the simple fact that we don't feel like we're spinning.
Now, if any of these claims are considered, it leads to a huge question. Why would this be a secret? This brings us to the most controversial part of the idea, the claim of a massive global deception.
So who would allegedly be in on this kind of cover-up? This book points to a few key players. At the top are space agencies, like NASA. But it also includes the scientific establishment, our entire education system, and the mainstream media, all said to be reinforcing the globe model.
That's the who, but what about the why? I mean, if there really were a deception of this magnitude, what would be the motivation behind it?
This book suggests a few possible motives, which can be boiled down to three things: control, profit, and belief. The idea is that it could be about controlling populations, or about the immense profits from space programs, or it could be philosophical, an attempt to remove humanity from a special, central place in the universe. This all leads to our final section, which explores what seems to be the core purpose of the book. It appears to be less about forcing a specific answer and more about encouraging a way of thinking. In fact, a quote from the book itself says, its goal is to encourage critical thinking, respectful dialogue, and personal inquiry. The stated aim isn't to prove a theory, but to kickstart a process of questioning and open-minded discussion.
Ultimately, the journey laid out in this book is presented as one of personal discovery. It's framed as an exploration into why we believe what we do, and it champions the idea that the act of questioning is essential to finding your own truth.
So, the book leaves us with one final question to think about. What does it truly mean to investigate something for yourself? If you want to dive deeper into these 100 questions, this book is available now on Amazon. Just search for the title Flat Earth Uncovered, 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth, written by Sue West.
Stillness is not an illusion. Experience is not an accident. And honest questions lead to honest clarity. This book invites that kind of reflection. Click the link to get your copy of Flat Earth Uncovered, 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth by Sue B. West.